There you go.
Oh, I gotta put Twitch up over here. I can't see it. Yeah, it's just me and you right
Twitch up
now.
over
I
here. I
like
can't
to
see
keep
Ooh,
track of what's going on.
there we go.
So let's see. Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Let me get
Twitch.com
shit.
slash ehorse
Let's
racing or
see.
Derby
Let me
Fever.
get, there we go. Twitch.tv / Derby Fever.
Derby Fever. Okay, yeah, I gotta at least get something going on here so I can act like I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read shit. Let's just be honest. Let's see. There's spin.
What up, Spin?
Right round, baby, right round like a record spin.
There it is.
There it is. Right
That's what we should
round,
do.
round,
Little
round.
music trivia to give away some
Oh
horses
yeah,
tonight.
oh
There
yeah.
we go.
We could mess up with some music trivia here.
Let's
Just
see.
three away. Not three away. He's just three away. El Bailey in the hizzy.
I hope that's the right link.
Taffy, of course, is here. Love that. I prefer spin, spin, spin the black circle. What the hell's a spin the black circle? This sounds like some Ouija shit up in here.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Explain yourself, Spin.
Yeah. I got beer.
Oh,
Me too.
Pearl Jam.
Oh, see, I'm not a
Golly,
Pearl Jamsman.
That went right over my head. I'm not huge
not
into
a
Pearl
Pearl
Jam
Jam
either,
fan.
but I should have known that.
Yuto, morning or evening. So yeah, okay. And it depends on your part of the world. It's a little late. Too early to drink here. 10 a.m. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. 3.
Loud and clear, beer keg.
Yep, here you win. The keg is in the house.
Too early to drink? Hell no, it ain't too early to drink. Get after it, man. That's the way to do it.
That's right.
Speaking
Yeah, actually,
of
I'm going to
drinking-
tell you guys a story that revolves around the Kentucky Derby. It's the only time I've really drank early in the morning because I agree. I'm a guy that doesn't like to drink until like 5 at least in the afternoon because I get started. It's hard for me to stop. But Derby, it was the year that who's the fucking 50-1 shot that
Country
won?
House?
No, Mind That Bird. Is that right?
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah, Mind That Bird. I was there at the Derby, and we used to take a Derby bus into the Derby. Well, I made a huge mistake because I started drinking at like 9:30 in the morning on the bus. By the time I got there, I was blitzed. We kept drinking in the heat. I've never had a hangover before I like went to sleep. I actually got a hangover while I was still awake. The worst experience of my drinking life, and I will never do it again. So yes, that's just to warn you.
Well, since we're telling drinking stories, I remember once.
Oh, is it Giacomo? You know what? I think the Mind That Bird. I know Giacomo is 51. I didn't go to that Derby. I think it was the Mind That Bird one though. But yeah, Giacomo was. So yeah, Mind That Turd. There we go. That was Mind That Bird. Actually, Taffy put bird and I said turd. I don't know what's up. So sorry.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt you, Frank.
No, you're good. Actually, I should probably stop on my head because I did not even think to start tracking who's here and who's not. I know we got Spin Round, we got Beer Keg, Taffy, Super Taffy. Let me see. Legend. Oh, El Bailey. All right. Got Bailey.
Amir's here. Bizzles.
Bizzles. We got our Whisper.
Yep. H to the
Just
Izzles, B to the
3
Izzles.
away. All right. Sorry guys. We got Jono, who is Vision. All right.
Shag.
Tea time.
Is Shag here?
Tea time. If you could do me a favor and drop your username in chat for me, so I know who
Like
you are.
it's hot.
Yep. Drop it like it's hot. Let's see. Who else is in here? Amir. There we go. Amir wakes up at 4 in the morning to join us.
Yeah, gotta love that, man. That is some passion.
That's some dedication right there.
Hell yeah. How many people we got in the chat right now?
Oh, Studdo, Steve, my bad, Steve.
Yep.
Right now, let me refresh. We have 15 that I can see.
Okay, it's a little light.
That just means more opportunity for prizes.
Right.
Oh,
That's
now
right.
We're down to 11.
What? CV Bear here at long last.
CV Bear, all right. What's up, CV? We got... somebody's calling me. Oh, that would be my mom. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. You guys ought to love Frank. He just dissed his own mother here on a live stream
That's
to hang
right.
out with you guys.
I sent my mom's a voicemail for you guys.
Tap it, shares, yay.
Yes, tap it, shares. Tea time, just your in-game username, if you have one.
And if not, you can hang out.
Yeah, if you're not part of the game, if you want to play the game.
If you're not part of the game and you want to play, we'll hook you up with some early credits and stuff, get you started. So there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Nice little starter pack. You can join up over here at the link. I just dropped it in. The chat. We got Padre.
There's
Brian.
Padre Bree. Okay, I have a question already. He's coming in here. He's like, dude, I'm done with you guys rapping. We got questions. Why do we not have the option to delete mayor out of our mayor list? I'll tell you what, the good news is within hopefully about a month, that's going to happen. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we have some changes coming up that I'm hoping to have implemented before October. If that's the case, part of it is going to give you the ability to disassociate yourself from mayors if you so choose. So that is on the way. That is actually on a very, very short list of things I'm adding. So that is, I would say you're not wrong. It should have been here already. But again, we're trying to prioritize things. We are at that point now. So you're 100% right.
It's coming. Just patience, guys. That's all we ask.
Let's see. As legendary LH, I'm not exactly sure who that is in the game, but legendary LH.
L Bailey.
Oh, L Bailey. Okay, yeah. You can hide them, which is helpful, but in the short term, hide them if you don't like them. But long term, yes, you will have the ability to disassociate if you choose.
How do you disassociate from other trainers? You can PM me.
Yeah.
Or Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry, not just me. But
yeah.
And we'll take a look at it.
Yeah. And it's going to depend. I mean, if the couple things we've done, and actually we just did this today for people that don't know, and you shouldn't know because there's no reason unless Frank told you, and he could have. We have removed, there was an auction, I won't call it a snafu, but we used to tie people together pretty tightly in the auction. And that was if you logged in particularly to a master stable that somebody else logged into, it might pick you up and not give you auction bidding. We're getting rid of that because we've tied master stables together a lot tighter. So I'm not as concerned about that. Frank and I aren't as concerned about that. But if you want to disassociate from two master stables, it's gonna depend because we do keep an eye on that. And if you guys end up logging into those stables again, they're gonna get tied together again. For the breeding purposes.
The other thing is I mean, we briefly talked about this, is we don't want to start using the ban hammer from the auction, right? Because there is code in place to ban folks who are abusing the auction, or really any part of the game for that matter. Yeah. So
we've never had to use it, but it's there.
Right. So please just kind of play within the framework of the game, right? Good spirit, in the spirit of the game.
Yeah, good spirit. Yeah, exactly. And everybody does. There's very few people. I mean, some of you guys play the fringes. And when I say that, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying you're playing the game like I would play the game, and that's the way you should play the game. You should play the game, to be successful and have as much fun as you can. So, do things. But yeah, like if you're using two stables and kind of like to raise up auction prices, that's not in the spirit of the game, is what we're saying.
I like Steve's comment. It's got a bit of a Bill C and Monica L about it, doesn't it? I did not have relations with that mayor. There we go.
Please, no. No, teaser stallions are enough. There was a TV show I've seen recently. I can't remember that they were showing a guy seeing his mayor being bred, and it was completely gross and hilarious. It was but I can't remember. I'll try to remember which.
Tea time. I knew I was invisible, but this is ridiculous. Oh no, man! I just wanted to make sure I had the right username for you. That's all. Because at the end of this, you're gonna get credits. So I got to have the right credit name. Otherwise, I'm gonna be sending credits to somebody who's tea time. 35 and not.
I'll give you an example of why he's asking this. Trotter has played the game for years.
Oh,
and Trotter, Trotter had sent me something where I owed him credits. He had sent money in and it didn't credit, so I tried to credit him by hand. And then he sent me a follow-up. He's like, I didn't get those credits. And I was like, I know I sent them, so I sent them again without looking, which was dumb of me. And then he's like, dude, I didn't still get them. So I looked, and he's Trotter 1 in the game. There's another guy named Trotter, so I was sending another guy credits to, So yeah, that's why he's. That's why Frank is being extra careful about that. We want to make sure that if you do have kind of a different name, it's not just tea time.
I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just less rework for me is all it is. That's all.
Yeah.
Not that it's work, but cool, tea time. Appreciate it, man. I got you written down here, so no worries. Whatever we decide to do credit-wise at the end of this, you'll get them either later tonight or at some point tomorrow whenever I get around to doing it. Let's see. Bazal's the auction flagged me for bidding on one of Lenny's horses. Not sure what happened, but I just dropped it. Yeah,
The good news is yeah,
it's
you ain't got
gone
to worry
now.
about that anymore. That's all.
Yeah, we removed that today. But like we said, if we catch wind of folks like upbidding their horses and with their own stables and things like that, because we still have things in place to check it, right? We're just not enforcing it. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to start dropping the ban hammer, and there's not really gonna be a hey, this is your first warning. This is the warning.
Yeah.
So all right, so we didn't really have a format tonight, guys. We're just shooting the shit. I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about. If you all want to talk about the BP floors, the cards, if there's any questions around that, if there's any questions about the upcoming change, or we'll call it stage two, or if you have any just general questions for either Mike or myself. I did get the OnlyFans up last week. Got the Derby Fever thong going. I
Giving
hope
due
y'all.
credit, Stables Padre Bride too. So credits whenever. Okay, yeah, I'll keep that in mind, Padre. And I have seen. I don't do the Facebooks too often anymore, but I saw where I think that you might have some hot sauce. I need to buy some of that stuff. If you'll ship it, I'll buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Alpha
I'll buy it as
Rancho.
well.
Yeah.
We got Croft on. Croft, do me a favor and give me your username. I always forget it.
But yeah, I will make sure and buy some of that hot sauce. I'll repeat my question. Okay, I'd like to be able to find a way to add a stable to my main stable. I would say this: a problem. This has been a historical problem, and I'll give you some backstory on it. The reason that I don't allow, or we don't allow, the ability to add master stables to current master stables is there have been times, early on in the game. And I'm talking, and Taffy's been around long enough; she'll know. Is that I would do that, where you could kind of like merge those stables together, and then somebody would come back and there would be a discrepancy. They'd be like, I let this guy use my stable, but he wasn't, it's like, or he put my races in for like 3 or 4 weeks and then he took over my stable. I've even had shit, and I kid you not, where a brother like took over a brother's stable. Not shitting you. So it's stuff like that gets dicey. That is the reason that I've kept those separated. I'd have to think about this long term. I don't have a short term solution for you because it will require re-engineering, and it will also require some pretty detailed thinking on my half. But
I got an idea. We can talk about it offline.
That's why we have Frank here. He's smarter than me.
Oh, but, no, I'm definitely not. This might be a dumb idea. So,
hey, we'll take it off air, and either I'll tell you you're smart or dumb, one of the two. But I tell you that on the air all the time.
Either way, it's good feedback.
So, but no, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll just I'm not reading the questions as they're coming in because I try to look ish at the camera so my eyes don't come all over the place. But generally speaking, we've got long term, short, middle, long term. We have a handful of things we got to rewrite. Of course, we talked about the back end that we have to rewrite, a lot of the infrastructure, and after that, we are going to work a lot on the front end. And surprisingly, the stuff you're talking about there, Taffy, is, even though it sounds like back end changes, it's front end, because we're going to be moving it from ASP Classic to Python. And that's where a lot of the GUI interface comes in, and that's where a lot of that's going to come in. So I will definitely keep that in mind as we move.
Yep. Let's see. Somebody asked a question, and now I can't find it. There it is. Sorry, CV Bear. Question about the floor. I noticed you can still bid 10 credits on the low end sires below that 25-point floor. Is that by intent? Yes. Yeah, we weren't going to penalize the credit side of it. We were only going to do it for the BPs.
Yeah, the credits are the credits. I mean, that's 100% is not by that's 100% by intent, not accidental. Is I mean, it really was a slowdown. I mean, that was the main goal, is to slow some of that BP stuff down.
Yeah, again, it's if there needs to be an uptick. I mean, most folks aren't spending their money on 10-cent sires. It's just the way it works. The BPs is different because it's free currency, so it's kind of like it's not any kind of cost out of their pocket, so to speak. But I mean, if you want to spend 10 cents on, 3 10-cent sires, 30 cents out of your pocket, you breed 3 for $1. So
and it's the thing is it's not, it's real money. I mean, you hate to think of it that way, but it's money, or it's residency earnings and things. The thing about especially the points, and the reason that we raised the floor on the points was because, and this goes back years, and I'll take the bullet for this, is I made it too easy, particularly on first time starts, to get points, and you can get like 50 or 60 points for a first time starter. And you shouldn't be able to get 2 horses out of one race for a first time horse. That's on me, especially considering we have a lot of races that are running with like 4 horses, and you can go in, if you race your horse in the right place, it's kind of a kind of like a perpetual motion device in a way. So we're just trying to slow that down. That was the thing, and the credits aren't like that, So that's kind of what we were up against.
All right. So we had one other. Vision said cards suck a bit, so long to accumulate them. I mean, that's why we shortened it. So yeah, I mean, it takes longer to do the G's and the F's or whatever. But on the elite end, we made it a lot less. So there's actually less cards that you need to get in order to reach that A, B level.
Yeah, so. And to come back to what you're saying is you're not wrong, but also the other thing to remember, and I'll tell you the initial goal of the cards, and again, this is a me problem. This was I'll take the bullet on this. The cards are meant to be kind of a fun aspect. They were added almost secondary. They were initially added primarily for new players because new players have a problem getting points sometimes. They start out with bad horses. But what they could do at least is they could merge a couple of cards together and do that little 4-card thing and get a new horse every 2 hours. So they had a chance, an opportunity. I still think that works, and you can still You can still send those cards to the 4-card system and get a horse every 2 hours. That's still by design. Where I made a mistake initially, and I'm trying to correct it, even though I'm not sure if it's going to be 100%, is it was merging those sires to get sire shares, and 25 cards you can get in a heartbeat. And next thing you know, you're setting on a whole bunch of sire shares, and you can start breeding horses. There was no, especially if you accumulate a lot of mares, you can merge those mares with sire cards for practically nothing. And it was really, again, it was almost like a perpetual motion device where, and we just had to slow some of that down. And again, that's not necessarily trying to hurt the player as much as it is trying to slow some of the growth of certain aspects of the game down.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to basically maintain the integrity of the game is more or less what it boils down to. We were kind of growing at a very, 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 very fast pace. And without
growing players, it was a horse base that was growing.
Yeah.
And
we were basically exceeding overhead is what we were going to end up doing.
Yeah. Fortunately, I've been able to stave some of that off. I was getting to a point where I was about ready to have to, as everyone, maybe not everyone, but I did double my the front end server, which of course costs like over twice as much money as the old server. In turn, I almost had to double the SQL database, and then what you're seeing now, I'm trying to slow that growth down, and the things that we're putting in place now is being able to slow that. The SQL database now is like $270 or $280 a month for 16 gig MariaDB database on Azure. If we hit the point that I have to double that, we're now talking double the money, and it becomes, it's real money out of my pocket, real money out of the game's pocket, and I'm trying to keep costs as low as humanly possible. So it is a matter of where can we cut things off? And as Frank mentioned earlier, or maybe he didn't in the chat, but right before we went live, is that yes, growing those small sire shares does take more time, but juking them up now is actually more affordable for the user than it's ever been. And, we may end up, if this turns out not to be the answer we want, we may look at it again. But yeah, you can get an A sire share a lot cheaper and a B sire share a lot cheaper from a card perspective than you ever could.
Sorry, I was focused on pouring my beer.
That's all right. So what kind of beer are you drinking right now, Frank?
Right. So this was the first one. This was Hazy Beer Hug.
Are you drinking that bat beer?
No, I didn't. I'm not drinking the bat beer yet.
Show him the bat beer. It's dope. It's dope looking. Check it out. This is the one I want to see him drink.
Hold on. Oh, hold on. Sorry. This is the Bat Squatch Rogue from Rogue. I think they're in California. So yeah. I love this beer. This beer, I just tried it the other day for the first time, and that's my go-to. That's my go-to right now. But the one that I just poured is Stone Cold Steve Austin's El Segundo American Lager. It's this guy. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and dive right into.
It's like a badass PBR.
So, all right. So I know there were some questions up here that I missed. Pat74 Miller asked two-part question.
Okay.
And Pat74 Miller, if that's not your username, please do me a favor.
It's close.
Type your
I think it's
username in
close to
the
that.
chat so that I got it. But his two-part question is the BP floor designed to discourage mass breeding?
Yes, for the most part. It's not so much mass breeding, but yeah, just I think the thing is you have to look at the game versus reality. And again, I think early on in the game I made breeding too easy. You can be rewarded in the game for breeding a whole bunch of low bred horses and just really throwing and seeing what sticks at the wall. Yes, so in that regard we are. The difference between the game and real life, regardless of what I do, the game is a game. It's not ever going to, it's going to try, it's still a game. It should be different than real life, but it should resemble real life. But ultimately, it's like a real horse. You would never take cheap horses and keep running them and running them and running them, or just like breeding them and dumping them. You have to train them. You have to get them out to the track. You got injuries. That doesn't happen in the game. Right. So you don't have that, that kind of.
There's a dynamic missing. There's really a dynamic missing, and the reason why it's missing is because this is a game. Yeah, so and we want it to be fun. You don't want your sim horse to die on the track, or die in the farm, or something crazy that you have no control over. That's not fun.
Right. But part of that is that we made the cheap horses. I think I tried to make the cheap horses price wise similar from a percentage wise to real horses. But in reality, I didn't take into effect that trainers cost money, feeding them costs money, injuries happen, et cetera, et cetera. And that's why we raised the floor, is to make people want to breed a little bit better quality stock than just all the cheap horses. You can still breed cheap horses, they just cost a little more.
Yeah. And his second part to the question was there a panic run on the 7-Eleven beer cooler that Mike is drinking Yuengling?
Don't crack on my beer, but you're not wrong. At the end of the day, this is not good beer. I'm not going to sit here and even defend Yuengling as a beer. It's bad, but you just have to go with what you go with sometimes. It's cheap, and this is a 10-cent BP of beer here, So,
well, it's the 25 BP now,
it's
Mike.
It's 25 BP, right? Fortunately, they didn't raise the price at Kroger to get my 10-cent BP beer. But yeah, I was trolling.
That Stone Cold beer is pretty good, by the way. It's light.
Is it? Yeah.
It's real light. So
Yuengling is exactly what you'd expect.
Shitty Pittsburgh beer. All right, so we got. Let's see. Dwayne, I think, said we can't visually look at these animals to see if they look like an athlete.
That's true.
We've talked about kind of doing some like high level descriptors, basically. We haven't really got into the details on it, but it's on the radar.
Yeah, I mean, it's it'll probably go into a similar vein as the jockey recommendations. It's something we want to add. It's not. Again, it really is just weighing the checks and balances. And I'm probably, I'll continue to take all the bullets here about the way the game developed. I mean, I never anybody as Super Taffy's been around this long, and I know a few of you guys have. I know Padre's been around for a while, and a lot of you guys have. I had no intentions, the wrong word. I had no expectation I'd be running this 25 years later. So it was just fun. And then it's like, hey, let's keep throwing stuff at the wall. And I would grow in one area, and then it got too heavy. And there's a lot of code, I mean, not breaking my hand, patting myself on the back, but there's a lot of code here. And it's hard to maintain, and it's hard to change. It's hard, one little thing. I mean, even just this recent change about changing that floor and changing those cards. Frank and I looked at that change pretty heavily. The next change, we're doing the same thing. We want to make sure that we may screw up the rollout, but that's not the intention. We're really trying. Even just a handful of code changes do take time to release.
Yeah, I mean, and to be completely honest, we did screw this release up. We didn't hear much about it, but we actually did make a mistake on this release, and somebody sent me a PM about it. It just so happened that, it wasn't a huge issue. But We did fix it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we got, let's see, I had a question. Tea Time said, can we get some better CPU horses in the races where they have to fill in?
I would love that.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Is that is something we've kind of bantered back and forth, and I think that's you know that goes back to it's too easy to earn BPs in a lot of ways. And I'm not trying to stop players from earning BPs, but there are races, and I think I saw somebody if it wasn't a question, I think it was a statement saying the race carding could be better. Again, you're not wrong. I do. Somebody came up a couple chats ago with a good idea that I'm going to have to maybe flesh out about if a player buys a race and it ends up splitting, that they get the credits back. I think that's an excellent idea because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you guys know the dynamic of the way the horses, you guys know the ecosystem of the races better than any computer ever could. And I try to have, the races try to card, but I mean, if you start running down, I mean, it's a permutation problem. It doesn't seem like the Powerball is hard to hit, but once you start taking all the permutations, it's like, wow, no wonder it's so hard to hit. But you're looking at age, you're looking at sex, you're looking at distance, you're looking at track, you're looking at all those things. It becomes hard to card. Conditions the hard one, but you're looking at every small nuance, and it's hard for the game to card.
It's everything. It's like unlimited combinations is basically how to look at it, and the game only knows to card what it can card based off of whatever logic is set, right?
And again,
it's probably likely that the logic needs to be updated, right? Because it's out of date, right? And maybe the game was a little bit smaller when the card was when the logic was built. It's a little bit bigger now, so there's more horses, which means that there's more opportunity for more conditions. So.
But that's where, we were just talking about, giving the player base the opportunity to card the races, using credits or whatever. And if it splits, go ahead and give the credits back, because that means you did something the game needed.
Right.
That's a positive to the game. You're not trying to, I think that's the thing is, I think, and again, I thought this was one of the best ideas I've heard recently is, you're not trying to micro focus on your horse. You're trying to micro focus on where the game is lacking, and if you guys can pick those spots and that race splits, and get your credits back, man. I think that's an excellent idea, and I will try to get that in shortly after the leasing, maybe even. I think that's an excellent idea.
So we got, let's see, Taffy says Bat Squatch yummy, Oregon. Bat Squatch is literally like a few miles away.
Nice.
Rogue is delicious. I like Rogue Dead Guy is good.
That's a lot, man. I mess with these 4% beers. It's a man's beer. I'm sitting over here. I don't mess with that stuff.
It'll put some hair on your chest, that's for sure. Let's see. We got Dwayne Crisp is listing out beers. I think that's what those are.
Nice.
Yeah, Blue Moon Citrus Pale Ale. Cheapest part of a. Rob Desperado says cheapest part of a real horse is the purchase. That's true.
See,
Beer
he's
King.
not wrong. I'm not even a horse guy, and I know that, but that's where I screwed up, Rob, is when I first wrote this. And I learned that being in an early partnership where I had like 1/25 of a horse named Air Mike, and that fucker I was just like pouring money down a hole.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
I was going to get into the game a while ago, a few years back, and I actually had a trainer tell me don't. So he told me it would just be endless money with very little return, so I decided not to. Let's see. Beer Cake says, based on my daily farm expenses, I'm paying out the hoo-ha to feed these ponies. How many do you have on your farm? Just out of curiosity.
He is paying out the hoo-ha, but he's paying some cash, which is literally just like nothing.
Yeah, but we're going to start charging in BPs, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Anybody who has negative $40 million in the stable is gonna get fucking burnt.
That's right. We're gonna start charging. We're gonna start taking from your BP because you're late on your bills.
Yeah, you got that one stable that's not. I'm not saying it's Beer Keg, but I've seen guys do that where it's I know that how those big farm stables work. I don't know if Beer Keg does that, but I know some people do. But I know there's a loophole that we need to fix eventually, but that's not gonna be the fix. Just not sure what it is yet.
Yeah, I mean, not that we want to jump into this tonight, but we dabbled and talked a little bit about limiting active number of horses or just horses per stable and stuff like that. So we're tinkering. That's not really, we don't know if that's going to be a solution, but
and again, this will all probably be with the rewrite. Especially
exactly.
this all sounds like back end work, but a lot more of it's front end work than you would think. The GUI stuff, because the way especially the old website was written. Again, I'll take this bullet. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, so the front end was very heavily tied into the back end. With the new website, it's going to be very much like an API. Not that you guys care about that, but it's going to be a lot more separated. And in doing so, we will have a lot more flexibility to make quick changes and be a lot more flexible.
The game is going to be super, super agile once we get it over to, once we get the front end over to Python and the back end the front end over to Python.
And whatever's left of the back end. We have most of the back end. I think you care. Most of the back end written in MariaDB, but we're going to write the races. We still have to rewrite the races in Python, and probably the race carding in Python. Those are the two things that are still hanging out there that we need to rewrite. Yep. And we're going to put those in Python out of VB 2012. Again, I know don't glaze over on me, guys. But just look up VB 2012. It's a dead language. That's why we're so hell bent on getting this changed. It's literally it's important.
It's literally like on its deathbed, and if we don't get it out the chute, then the next update that happens, the game goes down. So
we got to get this out. We got to get this out.
Yeah. So we're a little bit hard pressed for time, but we'll get it. We'll get it all figured out. Let's see. Vision or Jono says, boys, get some Johnny Walker Blue in you both. Listen, I will shoot you I'll give you my address, and I'm sure Mike can give you his, and then you can send us a bottle each.
Yeah, why not?
And we'll drink it live on stream.
I'll drink shoe polish if you send it. I'll drink one of Padre's hot sauce bottles on here if he sends it for free. I won't drink the hottest one though.
All right, there you guys heard it. There it is. So we got Padre says he could be at Stone Brewery in less than 10 minutes. Actually, I have a Stone Brewery beer tonight. Oh, let me grab
really?
Oh yeah, look, I got my kid's he retired his lunchbox. It's mine. It's mine now. Nice. Oh, that's the Bat Squatch. Shit. We got a hazy out of Stone. So
hazy out of Stone.
Yeah, love me the hazies, man. Hazies are my favorite.
I'm drinking a beer that tastes like licking a stone.
I'm gonna have to send you a 6-pack or a 12 or something. Let's see. We got. Where did I leave off? Padre. We got Taffy says, I drank that's Bat Squatch at Rogue Brewery on your first date with your husband. Oh, very nice.
Really?
How long
ago was that? You don't have to tell me ages. Just how long ago was that?
Rob says we can hire Goins to do confirmation notes on all sim horses. Hey, we pay good money for that stuff. We pay credits. Yeah. So if anybody who wants to help out,
how many users are we up to in the chat? Have we hit 20 yet?
Oh, we're over 20. We're at 27.
Nice. Okay, because I was disappointed when we came in 15. So
you want to do before I continue with the chat? Do you want to do a giveaway?
Nah, let's keep talking. We'll give them a giveaway in a minute.
All right. We got some good stuff coming later today, in the chat here. But CV says your Tappet has a fifth leg with a tire on it. A descriptor would explain a lot. Okay, I will actually take that exact verbiage and we'll enter it in as something that you can see. Jono says would actually be good if when you breed you could look at the 5X breeding and you get a brief rundown on what the horse may be capable of in terms of distance, maturity, age, etc.
I'm not against that ish. Again, that's probably a GUI front end bullshit thing that I know I keep talking about. Those are the kind of things that those are the kind of things that I love to get out of this discussion because again, though, that's a separation of church and state, so to speak. My church and my state in the horse racing game are all the same. That's why I'm really working. Like when we get the Python version written, it's going to be separated, and things like that will become easy. But right now, it is very much like talking one to the other becomes a mess. But stuff like that will become a lot easier. That's very much an API GUI thing. Great idea, and it's not. I'm not against it, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and shit on it because I think it's a great idea, but it's a matter of getting there.
Right, and again, we've talked about ways to kind of make the the sim dollar more relevant too, right? Maybe maybe you use the sim dollars to buy information, get information on your horses from something. Again, not fully fleshed out, right? Like we're still figuring things out as we get closer. I'm sure these will be things.
Would you guys like a sim dollar guy that looks like the surfer guy, but he's dressed like a spy?
I want the grandma.
Like takes information back. Yeah, my favorite's the guinea pig. That's all I say.
Let's see. We go to Dwayne Crisp. He said, since Christmas of 1998, still one of the best I've ever played. When you added breeding, it just blew up. There you go. Nice little compliment.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's been. Yeah, it's 98. Shit. Yeah, I mean, you were like on the front end. I think 98 was the first year, right? I think we started in August of 98. I guess shit. I think we're today or within the last week has been our 25th anniversary. I think it was like August 3rd, 25th anniversary.
Oh man. So I'll get to that comment in a second that I just read. But Beer Keg says pick the CPU horses by the highest eligible CPU value and race shape. I think there's a better way to do it on the back end.
And I'll be honest with you guys. And I did this purposely early on, and it may be time to revisit it. The CPU horses, I'm pretty sure they don't even train. I think they come in fat.
They do.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they come in fat. So you guys are beating the shit out of a whole bunch of portly horses.
Yeah, so think of it this way.
We can fix that pretty quickly.
If you lose to one of these portly horses, that should be a pretty good indicator of how good your horse isn't.
Except the first few races, first 5 or 6 races, give your horse a chance, man.
Let's see. Rob says, this is what I laughed at. Make Frank write a machine learning algorithm to do karting.
No, I hate ChatGPT. Machine learning is garbage. Actually, let me rephrase that. That would actually not be the worst case scenario for machine learning. Do not have it write code. Do not have it write stories. But from a learning of an actual data set, I'm okay with that. I can see that.
Beer Keg says, what if the race splits because the trainer sends 15 of their own horses? Oh, we can code against that.
If you want to send 15 of your own horses, go right ahead. You got 15 horses you could have split and made more points instead of trying to get your credits back. You do you.
Yeah, I mean, you're wasting 15 horses at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say wasting, but...
No, that's a whole bunch of aggression. I mean, try to get back 25 cents.
Is that real? I mean, you're wasting 15 attempts at a potential 50 BPs, if that? That would be the max BPs.
I think everybody will agree is you would rather have the BPs over the credits. So.
Right. Jono says, are you guys going to go back to CPU value races? This would improve the racing experience for all players, I would think. I'll let you answer that. I know we talked about this offline.
We do have, the hot races are that way, and they are that way for a specific reason. I think that you're not wrong in theory. In practice, the problem is that still too many people enter shittier horses. And not only that is the CPU value is something that is an overarching value. It doesn't take distance. It doesn't take surface. It doesn't take the way a trainer's trying to gimmick a horse. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up seeing people trying to lowball their horse to get a big score. So you can drive down a CPU value fast, which is another reason why I've seen, and I know betting has been talked about, and I'll at least consider betting when we go back to when we get the rewrite done. But you see that all the time with betting in the game is people would drive the value of their horse down to pop it at 50 to 1 and win. So I mean, it's again,
part of it is
do we want to spend our time trying to keep people from gaming these weird little nuances in the game, or do we want to avoid those nuances altogether and focus on stuff that makes the game better?
Right. And again, if this is something that ultimately ends up making the experience better, then we'll try to figure out a way around it. It just becomes very, very difficult. It just becomes very difficult because we'll open ourselves up to a lot of
gamesmanship.
Right, exactly. So we got, let's see, Taffy says she's drinking Electric Brewing's Phaser Hazy IPA right now. I love it.
Phaser Hazing? What the hell is that? That sounds like some Star Trek bullshit.
Phaser Hazy IPA. Come on, Mike.
Son?
There we go. We got. I wouldn't mind having one master with more horses, but I like the different names.
You
Yeah.
know, and again, this will be probably my hardest decision, Frank and my. I keep saying my, which is not the case at all. Frank is getting more into the coding all the time. And actually, Frank's doing all the heavy lifting now. I'm just sitting over here punching buttons and fucking coding. It's like
It's
yeah,
true.
you can hire a bunch of code monkeys to do what I do, but yeah, Frank's doing the heavy lifting.
Just
But one
kidding.
of the hardest decisions that we're gonna have is anyone that's been around long enough. I know Dwayne has, I know Taffy has, Padre has. Actually, everybody, most of the people here, at least half of you guys, were around for the old version of the game. Frank wasn't around for the old version of the game.
Nope.
But it started out as a very individual stable game. I allowed merging of stables for simplicity because 10 horses per stable wasn't enough. It was a good decision, but it's been a clunky decision because the good news is about the limiting with the 10 horses per stable is it keeps players from having like 1,000 horses in the stable, getting too many BPs too fast and breeding horses too fast. The bad news is it's still clunky, and there's a better way to do this. I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of like one thing over a layer over a layer. When we rewrite that GUI and the complete backend, we need to revisit that. I'm not sure what that entails, but I do think that yeah, the more horses, less, yeah, not less horses, but more horses per master, having a master that is literally the master. And I do get the individual stables being a cool thing, but really, it's almost to me.
It's a pain in the ass for us.
Yeah, you guys can poop all over this, but it's an antiquated logic. It's something that probably needs to be at least maybe not done away with, but revisited. But I'm
Yeah.
not sure how to fix it, so I'm not saying it's going away.
Yeah, we have to really think through that process, I think, because you can cause a significant amount of inflation on BPs,
Yeah.
a significant amount of inflation on sim dollars, and then everything
Yeah.
just gets jacked out of the
Exactly,
out of
and
the park. So
yeah, so that's a huge discussion. That's a discussion for another day. But yeah, when we get closer to that, these chats are going to be. I mean, just hearing stuff like that is helpful now, but it puts it on a radar. But when we get closer to that overall rewrite, and we start doing that, then these chats are going to become very, very helpful because you guys know. I want to hear what you guys believe, but at the same time, like inflation is a big concern because I don't want somebody that plays the game with 5 stables to be at a gross disadvantage over somebody, and there are people that play with 200 stables. I don't want the 5-player guy to feel like he can never get anything.
right. We don't want that to be the case, right? Like, we
Right.
still want the auction to be a thing. We still want, claimers to be a thing and, cost actual BPs and money and so on and so forth. Not actual money, but sim money. All right, so CV Bear said, I have 10 barns above 100K in the negative. I'd be mighty mad if you charge. No, we were only kidding about charging
No,
BPs.
we were joking,
Yeah, that was a
buddy.
joke.
Yeah, we're just messing.
No. We would never do that to you. Well, I shouldn't say that.
No,
I'm just kidding. We
trust
wouldn't
me,
do that to you.
No, wait, here's the thing. If I did do something where we messed around with changing the logistics there, again, everything that goes on in the game, as I've said before, as long as people aren't cheating, I don't mind. I'm the person that allowed these things. I'm the guys that I'm the guy that put these loopholes here, or loopholes maybe a strong word, but I was the guy that put the logistics in place. And if you guys have that thing, it is 100% on me. And I would do everything I can to make sure that you guys don't take a bullet for my indiscretions.
Right, and just to be perfectly clear too, right? Like we're not accusing any players of anything or anything along those lines.
No.
We don't blame any player for doing
No.
what they've done, because it was available. You were allowed to do it. The thing of
You
it is,
should do it. I mean, like if you want to do it, as long as it's not outside the rules, do it. If I were playing the game, I would do the same damn thing.
right, and we've said that, time and time again. But the thing is like we're also trying to promote, spirit of the game, right? So if it's we're basically saying don't bid against your own horses,
Yeah.
maybe try to keep, I don't know, try to at least have some semblance of realism and fun with it, right? Like don't just leave it like, oh, how do I spam the shit out of something, right? Like that's kind of what we're trying to avoid. We go back to the comments here. We got, oh no, coding talk. I promise we're done, Bizals.
Yep.
Let's see. Beer Cake says if the farm expenses per horse were reduced, it would be easier to spread farmed horses. If I spread them out now, all stables would be the whole in a few weeks. 5K per day per horse for me today. But there's some levels to that though. I think to a certain extent, I don't think the farm was ever meant to hold horses over on like an assembly line, so to speak.
Yeah, and this is probably one of those questions or one of those situations that is, we're not going to resolve anything for the rewrite of the front end, especially. This is one of those situations where we may look at farming particularly and may revisit the entire process, because like Frank said, it was never intended to like move a whole bunch of horses in and get a whole bunch of horses into this stable and keep moving and moving back. And the farming in its purest form was meant to keep a horse for a while, let it mature, things like that. And again, this is situations where the players figured out it's a swarm logic of the game. Okay. I'm in no way, shape, or form have I ever been the smartest person in this game. However, even if I were, and in this theoretical world, even if I were the smartest one-man person in the game, which has never been the case, you guys are all very good at this game, and you're very clever, and you're very smart, and there's so many of you, you're going to figure out things that I didn't think of. And this is one of those things I didn't think of. And it's we may have to revisit the entire farm altogether. I don't know what it is. And again, if we revisit master stables and sub stables, the farm makes a whole lot of sense to revisit as well, because it's grossly and unequivocally tied to that.
Right.
So it may become a whole rethinking of that structure. Again, not sure what it is, but I wouldn't worry about it any time in the near future until we get to that.
That's a ways down the road. We're kicking that can as far as we can for the moment. Squidman says, hi, Mike and Frank. Baggio Stables here. There we go. It's Baggio. I always think of Craig Biggio when I see Baggio. That's a baseball reference for some of you folks. Let's see. Rob Desperado says, I think giving too much away is a negative. I agree, but I think what we would do is we would build some fog of war into it. Not give everything away.
I never want to give too much away. I think that's, again, as Frank says, we could give more. The game is very opaque in a lot of ways, and it could be at least a little more, there are ways that we can make it easier to bring in some more information. That's where like the jockey, jockey feedback, you get a good jockey on a horse and he's like, maybe try this. You get a shit jockey, he may tell you the wrong thing, or you get a young jockey, he maybe just be like happy to be there. But if you get a good jockey and he's like, maybe consider this, and then like you have a relationship with the jockey over a period of time, that's where it brings a jockey relationship back into the game a little bit, instead of just picking the best jockey. It's like you get the same jockey and you get a decent enough jockey, you get information.
Or maybe what we do is also add something like almost like levels of information where we you pay X amount of sim dollars, you get a bloodstock agent. You pay X amount of sim dollars, you get a training assistant or whatever. And these guys give you feedback, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. It just depends on what the level of accuracy is. Yeah. Squidman. Oh no, I already read Squidman. Sorry. Let's see. Jono says, I love the Friday live. I manage a business and walk around the plant acting like I'm doing the rounds, except I'm listening to the live. Life is good. There you go. Keep the earphones in, Jono. We got Spin, who says, you're against tappets for all. I think everybody in the game has a tappet at this point. And if you don't, they're probably being donated.
Get them quick. Yeah,
we got 2 weeks or 11 days.
You know what? I tell you what. We're probably getting close to where we can give something away. But even then, it's do you want to show us some cool stuff with because your account is tied to the new
Indeed
new pricing system.
So you're gonna Mike and Frank are no longer visible. I know you guys miss our pretty faces, but this is my account right now.
I can't even see. Okay, I can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's Frank.
And there we are. That is what the current prices look like based on the code we've implemented for the BP increases. So as you can see, we got 5 on the top here. We got Tappet at the top at 1433, Frankel 1162, Dubawi at 1136, Curlin 1038, Into Mischief 1008, Flightline 998, and then they just kind of go down from there. So as you guys can see, you get a lot of good quality sires here for a lot less than 1,000 BPs. Starting, right?
Yeah.
But I had a thought and I completely forgot what the hell I was going to say. So take it away, Mike.
Oh, I don't have a thought. But I think the thing is, as you can see, is that ultimately, our goal here, and this is one thing I wanted to touch on tonight, and we don't want the best sires to be unattainable. We just want, we just don't want the same sires being bred over and over. So yeah, I mean that's why Tappet's so high, as you guys, and it makes sense. Tappet is.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Disclaimer. This is not the official prices. This is we're still in test mode, so they could go up, they could go down. We don't know yet.
Yeah, but these are close. This is close to where it's going to fall. But I mean, as you can see, a lot of the sires that we're maxing out at 1,000. They're definitely not 1,000 anymore. So there's going to be an opportunity, to get some better sires for cheaper than you guys have gotten in the past. So that's kind of the trick there.
Yeah. So do you want to go into logic, or you want to just hold off on that and save that for another day?
We'll save the logic for another day until we get a little closer, because it may change a little.
I like that idea.
So
all right.
That's gotta get you at least a little bit.
Steve Soto says, "I'm not hard to please. I would like the jockey to tell me things like, hey, he didn't handle the track, or he needs further to show his best. It would save at least half a dozen starts for some horses." No, yeah, 100% agree with that. Mm-hmm. I think we both agree with that. I think the problem is finding out a realistic way to implement it, right? That's the challenge, because we want to give you information, but we don't want to give you too much, because if we give you too much, then it gets to be too easy.
Yeah.
So, and that's really where the challenge lies.
And I think that that's where I do believe that over the course of time, I think it's going to be right now, jockeys in a weird way. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like you guys pick most of the best jockeys. I've run the numbers, and the jockeys that perform better in the game are the best jockeys, because you guys have figured it out. There's some jockeys that aren't as good because they've got a last name that happens to be somebody that asked for a last name in the game, and they run the jockey all the time with successful horses, and the jockey's not as good, but you guys keep picking him because you think he's better than he is. But that goes back to maybe a quality of jockey, maybe even a relationship between a jockey and a player, where if you keep going to the same jockey and you go to the jockey well, he says, hey, you know what? I know this guy, and I'm going to give him a little more information. I'm going to pay a little more attention. So, and again, that's us, trying to get the code a little more solid and adding.
So if you see the thing that I just put in the chat there, that was Padre Bry got flagged because
for what?
He said semen.
Demon semen? What the hell?
Demon semen, which is one of his hot sauces. He got flagged in the chat, so Twitch basically said, don't do that, but because I'm so slow, I didn't catch it in time, so it timed out and made sure his comment wasn't there. But anyways, I wanted to make sure his comment was seen. So there you go. So where am I at? Let's see. Rob says Sim Dollars to Sim Bloodstock agents. That's what's up, Rob. We're gonna hire you as our Bloodstock agent.
I think he's making more money as a real Bloodstock agent.
Listen, Sim Dollars are worth more.
Then what?
Exactly. Let's see. So I'm looking. Everyone's talking about when they started. A lot of folks started back in the early 2000s. Amir, Amir says some prehistoric people are still around. Indeed,
I'm prehistoric. I'm the most prehistoric, man.
Next
I'm
says
like the dinosaur of the dinosaurs. I'm like the little what do you call them? The amoebas or whatever that you see that they're like this big in the, in the fossils. That's me.
Oh man. We got Next who says early Y2K here. No breeding,
Oh yes.
no breeding yet. Yep, Next has been around. He's seen some
Oh,
shit.
I know Next Bonus. He's my man.
Let's see. We got RA31N. Do me a favor and drop your name in the chat, your username in the chat. They said they haven't played all the way through, but started in '98. So not sure
wow.
who you are in game, but drop your name in the chat so that I can add you and you'll get some credits.
Yeah, who is it?
RA31N. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Rancho says, I don't remember the year I started. I remember the old game, though. CV Bear says,
But you've been around since at least 2011, 2012.
Chat GPT is pretty decent at naming horses. If you feed it the naming parameters of the sires, you have to really spell it out for them, but they do make for interesting names. All right. Jono says, yeah, some people can only afford shitty horses. Mike and players should play in the spirit of the game instead of being scammers. Yeah, I mean, listen, scammers, spammer, whatever you want to call it.
Slammers.
Yeah, we're we don't like putting these checks and balances into the game, but unfortunately, sometimes they're loopholes and they got to be closed, and that's the way it works.
And again, as most of them are not even like players. I mean, it's not even players playing in bad faith. It is just players looking at a rule and going, "Can I do this?" Right. I mean, people are just trying to get the best experience. If people are grinding something out just because if people are, I'd say this. If you're playing the game to get points and during that process you're not having a good time, you're probably playing in bad faith. If you're playing the game and having a good time doing the things that the game allows you to do, then you're probably playing in good faith.
I'm going to make it a little bit more blunt. If you feel like it's a dick move, don't do it. Fair. That's a little bit, the way that I look at it. Like, if you think that, like, oh man, like this doesn't feel right, maybe I should PM Mike, maybe I should send Frank a message about, something I found, probably go that route. And then, we'll talk amongst each other and we'll figure out, hey, is this detrimental or is this beneficial? Did somebody find something good or bad or what have you? And we'll tell you, we have no problem one way or the other. We try to be as open as possible.
That's 100% right.
Yeah, but if you feel dickish about it, then, just tell us. I mean, you're not going to get reprimanded for it.
No.
I mean, unless
we've let people get. I don't think I've ever banned anybody. There's one guy banned completely from the game.
We don't have to give names.
But even then, it's like I've only banned a handful of people from even parts of the game. But from the entire game, there's only one guy. I won't even tell you what was going on. But I banned him from the game.
That first sip of Bat Squatch Taffy. Woo! Let's see. Let me see. Donnie says, wait, I just thought of some more bad ideas. I don't know. Did you see Donnie's bad ideas story on B2B?
I have not. I saw it on the feed. I was afraid to look at it. I couldn't decide if he was going to like shit on us or if he's just like having fun with it.
Oh no, he's having fun with it. It's good.
I know Donnie's always going to have fun with it. I was being silly.
Donnie is very he's our Babylon Bee. He's very satirical and with what he posts. Very good.
All right, I'll take it.
All right, let me see. I think I just saw Shag join. We got excuse me. Rob says, hey, Donnie, Frank is all of a sudden not the biggest troublemaker in the sim. I mean, I do stir up the most shit. I don't know if I'm the biggest troublemaker, but I probably stir up the most shit in the chat. Let's see. Tea time, only allow wagering on graded races. We've talked about it. There's not an easy way to do it. Well, there is an easy way to do it. It's just not a fun way to do it.
Yeah, I tell you the thing about wagering that the sim sucked at. And this is why I took wagering out. It was on me. Again, as everyone knows, I think this goes without saying, the odds in the game suck, by and large. They just suck. Okay? Betting was never pari-mutuel. If I made betting pari-mutuel, the betting would suck. Yeah, because people would know and they'd be like, oh, well, I'm just going to bet on this horse. Now he's 1-9. There's like one person betting on this. Isn't a pyramid, it's not. There's not enough races, not enough people betting, so it becomes this kind of like ish thing of what do you do? Is it kind of like a pseudo parimutuel? I don't know.
You have to create
Yeah,
artificial pools basically,
yeah,
and then artificial betters,
yeah.
and it just
Yeah, and then you're going to see people, of course, they're going to bet on one side with one, and then they're going to bet on the other. Long story short is that if I ever do betting again, it's probably going to be more of an aggregate game type of pick the, you know, like a pick 'em or something across the game, or I don't know. It's not going to be like individual race specific,
here's
which is too hyper select.
just dawned on me. Here's an
Yeah.
idea, and we do it for graded only. We let them bet BPs.
Ooh. Ah. No, because it depends on if they can get BPs, because then it becomes a real
Oh
problem.
well, let them burn the holes in their pockets. That's the way it works.
Yeah, but if we'll have to take that one
We'll
offline.
say, yeah, that's a
Hard pass on that.
that's a drunk idea. So, let's see. Donnie, add that to the bad ideas.
My man.
Let's see. Where are we at? Where am I? Soto. Oh yeah, it was great fun having to individually log into each stable.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast, doesn't it? Let's talk about the clickbait banners while we're at it.
Spin says we're going to create new emails for each stable. There you go. So,
Yeah, that never happened.
we created.
Allegedly.
I created a new email for us, by the way. I don't know if you know. It's
Did you?
where all the complaints go.
Okay.
It's called I don't give a fuck at Smartacre.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, look on the bright side. It's like for as bad as we run this game, or me, like I said, I'm going to absolve Frank from this. As bad as
Don't
I've
absolve
run
me.
this game in the past, I have never. I may have ignored's the wrong word. I may have missed questions to the email, but I've never sent a poop emoji automatically to people. I hear that some companies do that.
All right, we're gonna move right along.
No, I'm 100% serious. Twitter's
Oh,
done.
I believe you. No, trust me, I believe you. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da. Whisper. I think the CPU values could be added to some low-level claimers. People trying to game the system would risk losing a potentially decent horse.
Yeah, that's not. It's not. I'd have to think about it. I believe, and this is an I believe, and it isn't actuality. I believe the game may allow for two conditions. I'd have to look. I'm not sure. Again, it's been a while because we've changed a whole bunch of things, but a claimer with I know claimers with like non-winners, claimers with CPU values. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I mean,
It's
I
unique.
think yeah. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's at least worth exploring. Um, because the nice thing about claimers, like you said, especially low level claimers, is if you run horses down there, you can lose them. Which is the whole point of a claim race. So
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, it's worth exploring.
yeah.
100%.
Again, I can't really weigh in on that because I wasn't part of the exploit of the CPU values. I know we have another way of doing it, but I don't know if that's a good way or not. I'm not going to mention what it is tonight. I know better. Let's see. Squidman, how about placing the master stable name on every horse? Some have over 100 stables, and it's hard to know who I'm up against. It would improve awareness of our competition.
Yeah,
New GUI.
that's a new GUI, but it's also new GUI, new problem. Um, and this stems back from the old horse racing game, and this stems back from I hate to say it, is people would target other people for things, particularly with auctions, but even more so with claim races.
Exactly.
Um,
Not to cut you off here, but for all you fuckers who have been taking my claimers, I'm really upset about. I'm just kidding.
no,
I feel like there's a target on my
but
back now.
but if you've noticed, and as a lot of you guys have, there is a hidden stable option. If I start putting a master stable, I mean, this becomes again a reimagining of the game, or at least a rethinking of the game in general. Um, I think hidden stables You know what? I'll be honest with you. I get why I put them in place, and I get why people wanted them, but it may have been a knee jerk reaction. There were probably better alternatives to that. Um, I'm not a big fan of the hidden stable, and as such, an overarching master stable does make sense. But there are some people that play in malice, regardless of what we say. They're just people that are dicks. As many players. I mean, it's a percentage game. Okay, we've got a percentage of people. Okay, even if we all agree that only 1% of society is a dick, we have more than 100 players, so at least one person here is a dick, most likely. Not in this chat room, but I'm just saying in the game, there's going to be people that are just playing in malice, which is unfortunate. So, yeah, I mean, I could keep a hidden sub-stable, have Aster stable, whatever, And again, maybe you just split the stables at that point. Maybe you go, these are my stables for X stable where people know that who I am, and these are my hidden stables. Again, just a reimagining, just a rethinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's probably just one of those things that we need to take back and kind of whiteboard and look at and just say, what does it look like in practice, right? And if it looks terrible, which I don't imagine it will, but if it looks terrible, then we say, all right, we got to reimagine it. If it looks, semi easy to implement, then basically it's okay, what do we want the GUI to look like? Yeah. And that's kind of how we implement it.
With all that stuff is like adding a master stable to the main screen. I memean, we've done that in a way, not so much with the racing, but with the breeding, because we didn't have a choice. The trying to keep the sub stables in the breeding became too overwhelming. Again, this whole like trying to keep the game at least somewhat agile has been an over-year process as I keep rewriting. And that's why you see now when you look at your breeding and you look at your old owners, it only has master stables, I'm pretty sure. And if I keep the list, and that's why things are so fast now. When you look at the previous breedings, it doesn't have to look at all the sub stables. It literally only looks at the master stable. Right. You could technically, and I probably shouldn't tell you guys this, but anybody that's played with it knows it. You could technically find other people's hidden stables via master stable. You can do that if you look at their jockey selections. If they bid a race and they have a jockey preference, I think, because they get the best jockeys that goes, they sponsor the race. You can do that kind of thing. And that's why I think that we need to at least revisit the hidden stables. They're not perfect. And this goes back to the old version of the game. Is like literally, if you guys want to not have stables that tie to each other, then we need to consider you guys keeping them separated completely inside the game, where it's like these stables are the stable where everybody wants to know I am. These stables, maybe nobody knows who I am. But kind of this hidden sub-stable bullshit, it doesn't really work.
I think maybe what the concept is or this is just kind of what I'm thinking is maybe you tag your master as hidden, right? Yeah. And then it shows up as an anonymous in the PPs or whatever. And then additionally, right, if you want to hide a sub-stable, maybe we remove the option to hide a sub-stable and we just give you the option, all right, deactivate. And it goes away entirely, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, we'll have to think about that offline. Again, none of this stuff is going into the current version. Yeah. What I can say for that reason. But when we rewrite it, and that's why I'm kind of throwing this out there. I'm literally just throwing shit at the wall right now. So it's I'm a monkey just throwing stuff, But I'm just kind of like spitballing. But yeah, I just want to let you know where my mind's at. The hidden stable thing, I think, there's a reimagining of that. But back to what Squidman was saying, is that is the reason why we don't put the master stable on the main page, so to speak.
All right. I'm going to skip through some comments here. Beer kegs.
If they're funny, tell them to me.
Oh, no, of course. Let's see. I gotta get closer to the screen. I'm starting to get a little too drunk. Beer keg says, could farming be moved to a master stable level, 10 active horses per stable, but then if you move them to the farm, they go to a master farm. So here's my initial thought on that, BK. I could see folks just spamming the shit out of the farm button and dropping horses in there for the sake of it, right? Like you would have to create a hard cap on that. And what's the hard cap? Is it 5 horses? Is it 10 horses? Is it 20 horses? Is it dependent on, the number of stables that somebody has? I mean, it gets very dicey in that scenario.
It might be a percentage of active versus inactive horses, but at the end of the day, it's again, and this is not downplaying comments like this because these are forward-thinking comments, and I think that ideas like this are definitely something that will get a lot of traction as we start rewriting the game. Anything that we're looking at right now, and this is and I know I keep saying that, but again. We are really, thankfully, Frank is really doing a good job reining me in. we're getting a lot of stuff in a good place.
He told
but
me
we have to.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say we have to get the stuff in the good place before we can even move forward.
I was going to say, he told me I gave him too much work the other day, so I got to tone it down. Let's see. Going up to BK. No, not BK. Already read that. Dwayne Crisp. If your mare was very successful on the track and in the shed, will her ability change if her breeding falls out of favor?
No. Mayor's mayor. Mayor's a mayor, man. It's, that's... the game tries, at least I try to think of the game the way I would reality. It's not always right. I mean, I'm not Nostradamus here, but at the end of not that he was a real guy. I think he's a real guy, but he's a bullshit artist. Anyway, at the end of the day, maybe I am Nostradamus, but at the end of the day is that, ability is ability, breeding is breeding, that's not going to change. So just because you fall out of favor doesn't change your ability to breed. So yeah, that wouldn't change at all. A mare's ability, if you breed a mare 5 times to tap it and she does great, and then you start breeding her to Texas by truck is what Larry always loves to throw out.
Where's Mike?
Texas by truck, then she's gonna suck. But at the end of the day, you start breeding her to tap it again. She's going to start breeding that, yeah. It's a genetic thing. It's not a favorite thing.
All right. So we got Sam said percentage of players that created silks, I imagine, is real small. I don't know what that percentage is. I think that's probably right, though.
Yeah, probably so.
I know Padre Bride does a lot of the silks. So I'm going to go ahead and send work to Padre. So anybody who wants silks, go to Padre.
Unlike the wind.
Let's see. Just 3 away. What's the highest BP level a sire can get to? Technically, it's unlimited.
Theoretically, infinite. I mean, infinite's a wrong word. You know what? It's
as much as you're willing to pay.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the goal is to find the nook to where people feel like that's what they want to pay. I think it's going to be an ebb and a flow. I think that Tappett's probably what you're seeing now, higher than where he's going to end up. I think like what we were showing, because people have been breeding Tappets, to lead into this. But you're going to see some of those lower sires raise up a little bit. So there's going to be this kind of like ebb and flow, and where's it all going to end up? I have no idea.
Oh, we'll get there.
Carnival ride.
Yeah. We're the wheel. What is that? The Ferris wheel without the hinge. We're just rolling at this point.
Carnival rides. Also, just gonna say this personal opinion: don't let your kids ride carnival rides. Like if the carnival came into town this week, they just put those rides up this week. Don't let your kids ride that shit. It's got to be dangerous as hell.
True story. When I was a kid, I must have been 6 or 7 years old. I almost flew off of a carnival ride. If my mom didn't grab me, I would.
Really?
Yep. Y'all wouldn't be getting streams right now. So I dissed my mom tonight by not answering that phone, but y'all need to thank her. So
Bobby's saving Frank, and you're over here dissing her.
Oh yeah. Let's see. We got. I'm trying to get down to some more questions.
I'll tell you what. If you don't mind, I have to use the restroom.
Have at it,
Tinkle. So I'm gonna let you. Man the stream for half a minute, or maybe about 2 minutes. I'll be back.
I promise I won't sink the ship. Maybe.
Do whatever you got to do.
All right. Well, sorry guys, we're going down. Let's see. Padre Bry. I figured that word was the offender. Yep. Seaman got us. Let's see. RA319. Aston. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. Let me get you added to the list, Aston. Says those sire prices that you posted won't be how it actually fully plays out, though, right? Because people will be less likely to pay $1,400 for Tappet than $900 for Gunrunner. So the second tier Gunrunners, etc., will probably be higher, and Tappet may be lower. Those figures are based on people continuing to buy. No, those are the actual numbers right now. So if we leave it that way, and folks don't want to pay $1,400 for Tappet will go down over time, and Gunrunner will go up. That's kind of the way it is. It's going to be true supply and demand, right? And you guys will find the niche. You'll find the happy spot where you're willing to pay for Tappet and where you're willing to pay for Gunrunner, and any other sire for that matter. What we're trying to avoid is fixed prices, right? Because we don't want to put you in a position where now it's like, okay, Tappet is going to be 2,000 BPs regardless of what happens. Won't go up, won't go down. Going to be 2,000 BPs. We're trying to let you guys dictate price. Let's see. BK says, if Dick Moves were banned, would Only Frank still be around? No, man. My whole Only Frank is based on Dick Moves. Get out of here, BK. Rob says, sounds like it would be sad, BK. Well, it's sad with the Dick Moves, Rob. Thanks. Once it hits your lips. You guys are fuckers. Baggio. There it is. It's my boy Biggio. Oh, we got Hack. All right. Oh, Hack. Let me add you to the list, Hack. Sorry, guys. I know we're behind on the chat here. I'm just trying to get caught up.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the record, getting old sucks, Frank.
Yeah, no, I know. Listen, I got the body of an 80-year-old at this point, so let's see. BK, am I the only one not seeing how to look up the week we started? I don't even know how to do that.
The week we started, what's that?
No, the week that players started, meaning if they started.
Oh no, you could look up. Technically, it is on the players changing table, I believe, Frank. If you look at I think. Hey, no, when I pull it up, I could tell here. Let's see. Though it's not 100% accurate because anybody that started in the old game may not be right. Let me select star from. Yeah, sorry, 3away. We're fucking nerding out over here again. But 0,10. I think there's a field on here. I think we can see. Let's see. It could be wrong. We have no idea. We're old and busted. Like I told you, we're old men, or at least I'm an old man. There it is, created on.
Wait. What are we talking about?
I think if you look at the master stable equals the username on the players changing, you can see when a player's first week was.
Oh, I'm just fucking with you.
I'm just letting you know.
I know. I'm just messing with you as you actually do work and look things up. I'm
not. I'm going to tell you order by. Let's see, order by. Again, I don't know if it's 100% accurate anywhere created on, but some of them are created on limit 0,20 descending. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm just being a weirdo. So.
Let's see. CV Bear says, I used to take the targeted claim really personally, but the more you yell about it, the worse the targeting got, especially when they claim to retire out of a certain sense of retribution. You know what's funny is I bitched and moaned about the claiming, whatever it was, 10 minutes ago. I did that hoping folks would claim my horses. So if I throw something in claimers, it's because I'm hoping it's gone. But that's the way I look at it. It's there for the taking. Beer Keg raises his hand. All right, well. All right.
We get hand raising up in here?
Apparently we need to add do we have hand raising in Zoom?
I don't know.
Well, you're the Zoom expert. You were, chastising me and patronizing me for not being up to my Zoom quality. So, let's see. Squidman, thanks for considering the master. Excuse me, sorry. Thanks for considering the master stable thingy. It'd be easier for me to know whose champion horses they are, easier to know who I'm up against, and might improve competition, but thanks anyway. Yeah, I mean, slippery slope. We'll figure it out one way or the other. It's a gooey thing. While Mike continues to do that.
No, I'm done. I
done?
don't know what I'm looking at. I'm a fucking idiot.
Let's see. CV Bear, too much cheap beer. No, this was actually expensive beer, at least on my side.
This was not.
So there was one beer. I bought a couple of different beers. Well, I bought I bought a plethora of beers. One of which is called
Cornucopia
Maine Lunch. It's a New England beer, like a IPA beer, and it was $10 a bottle.
What?
Yeah, I'm stupid. I waste my money. My kid's college fund is zero.
This entire 6-pack of Yingling, $6.99.
You son of a bitch. So anyways, I spent $10 for one beer. That one I didn't drink tonight, but I got a mango habanero one that I was. Oh yeah, no, I was tempted to try and drink it tonight, but I'm afraid of the face I'm gonna make on stream, so that's why I didn't do it. But it's there in the refrigerator.
Habanero beer. Mango habanero. I could get in with the beer. Habanero, I love me some hot shit. Not in beer. No.
You know, I'm a fan as far as beer and alcohol is concerned. I'm a fan of just trying anything and everything. I know that kind of makes me sound like a lush, but it's all in moderation, right? Like I won't black out tonight, I hope. But the thing of it is
I hope.
the thing of it is just trying to enjoy things, you know.
Everything in moderation, including moderation.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Dwayne Crisp asked, how do players get upside down in cash flow in this game? They leave horses on the farm.
Yeah. It's not as hard to do as you would think. I'm not advocating experiencing it. Again, we're not going to punish people that do, but yeah, it's.
I mean, we already kind of do, right? Because you don't let them enter stakes.
Not really, because I think we only limit it to that sub-stable. I don't think we limit it to the entire master stable.
No. It's definitely a sub-stable thing, but it's still,
and that's why they end up with a whole bunch of horses on that farm at that sub-stable. You know, that's all. There are players that can explain it a lot better than I can, but yeah, it's not as hard. It's not very hard. And again, that's a me thing, so I'll own that.
Oh, Soto says he's leaving us for a heap of beers and to listen to some old rugby league players tell stories. Have a great weekend.
I don't blame him. You know what? You do you.
That sounds more fun than me and Mike, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. They're going to talk about beating the shit out of each other, man. Rugby players are tough as fuck.
Rugby is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. I mean, yeah, those guys got a lot better stories than we got.
I never played rugby, but I fucked my back up playing football. So there's that. Tell that story one day if y'all want. It's a real quick one. Let's see.
Yeah. I strained my back reaching for something today.
Let's see. Maybe we give away a horse. What do you think?
Yes.
You want to give away one?
How about horses? Let me ask you this: horses, or let's give away a horse. We got to think of do you have a way to give away a horse, Frank, or do you think we give?
I have a private message right now that I have not read yet. It must have just come in. Let me pull my horses up here, and I'll move it over to the stream screen. Oh, that's not it. All horses. So the first horse I think I'm going to get rid of. Not get rid of. That's the wrong word. Is Zapping the Time.
Okay.
All right. So Zapping the Time is by Not This Time. DS is Unbridled Song. Ghost Zapper is the DDS. So
not bad.
I will gift this horse to the first person who can tell me where Not This Time broke his maiden. First person.
It's tough.
It's a tough one. Unless you're a Not This Time fan, you probably don't know.
Start throwing out random.
Oh, a lot of folks are throwing random names, so nobody's gotten it yet.
Man, that's exactly what they should do.
Phil Flemington? No, it wasn't Flemington Croft. It's in America. Look it up if you have to.
Yeah.
Not a good question for us Aussies. Hey, everybody has access to the internet. Look it up.
Yep.
Equibase. Churchill, Garden State, How can is Aussies? Well, y'all can look it up. Looks like the Americans don't know either. Ah, there it is. RA31N, which was Aston, I believe. You are the new winner of the Not This Time Philly. Aston got it. Ellis Park. Very good, very good, very good. I heard Mike crack a beer.
I did.
I'm getting close too. That's not cheating. I mean, who knows where every sire broke their maiden? Come on now.
All right, you know what?
Y'all got to do some.
I'll tell
research.
you what. We're gonna give the Aussies a shot here.
There you go. Mike's gonna give you all a chance.
Do we have another horse, or do we want to go with 3B cards?
Well, it's up to let's let chat decide. Do y'all want another horse? You have Never Refused. Here, we'll do this.
Yeah.
Never Refused, who's out of No Nay Never, Shamardal, and Sadler's Wells.
Good horse. That's a pretty good horse.
That's from the developer,
like
guys.
I can't promise a good horse.
Noble,
sounds like a pretty good horse.
Noble Elitist, who's Into Mischief, Curlin, and Tappet. And then we have Twitch Prize, whose frank conversation be like Mike, and change takes time. I know that the decisions are tough here. You have those 3 horses, or we will give you 3 B cards. Let's see. What do y'all want? Pick a horse, pick some B cards. Tell me what you want in the chat. And while y'all do that, I'm going to run and go to the bathroom. And Mike is going to be
and I would try to read these. I'm going to have to put on my glasses here, which is like I mentioned to you guys, it's at a weird distance. I'm going to have to like go back here a little bit, I think, to read this. Jack and Rose horses usually come with your horse is shit. Can we yeah, why not? We can implement that into the game. Let's see. I'll get by with that on the chat. But yeah, I don't like to put my cursing in verbal form or in written form. I don't know why. So let me wipe these glasses a little better. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the current. What is the highest BP level? Okay, sire can jockeys on my real horse. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're pretty good. So there we go. Man, her mutual betting could work. Yeah, it could. We'll definitely look into that. Fixed odd wagering is okay. Brad rules. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where did that come from? I haven't heard Brad in years. That's nice. That's a Liam and Sing call. I believe you'd have to ask those guys. I believe Brad may be one of their friends. I could be wrong. Man, I'm way behind. Tired of paying $9.99 a month for what? Can we get a free month subscription to Frank's OnlyFans? No. You know what? That's a Frank question. Let me see. My connection dropped. I'm kind of going backwards here. Cards, B cards. Horse, please. It's going to be close. I think the cards are going to win. So I'll go ahead and ask the question. And if I may be a little slow because, again, I'm a little bit further back, as you can tell, because I can't read with my glasses up close. Which athlete in the 80s changed the way that people ran, or let me see, people navigated, let me rephrase that, navigated long distance marathons with a new form called a shuffle? Now I'll give you 3 B cards. First person that can answer that. This is definitely like right up into the Aussies alley. Not Curly. Cliff Young. There it is. Crawford wins it. Yeah, Cliff, you got to read this. If Crawford wins it, we'll definitely make sure. I'll definitely give that to Frank. Cliff Young. This is one of the damnedest stories you'll ever hear, guys. Is there was a guy, and in theory, he came to the race wearing like fishing boots or some like big like sheep herding boots or some bullshit. I don't know if that's. I've heard varying stories if that was true or not. But the guy literally learned how to like navigate days and days of walking around, herding sheep, and he won an ultra marathon First time he raced it, I believe, at 61 years old. And he did something called a shuffle, where before people would run a long distance and then they would sleep at night. And they would run a long distance and they would sleep at night. And he just literally like did the entire ultra marathon like 2 or 3 days in a row. And he like ended up destroying everybody. And he's changed the entire way ultra marathoning was run. But yeah, Croft 68 won, by the way. So he gets 3 B cards. 3 B cards.
Okay.
And I can do that. Let me see. I want to make sure. Croft 68, I think, is that the master stable?
That's the master. He just corrected me.
Okay.
Earlier this
But
show.
yeah, he got it. Yeah, but that's don't take my word for it. Go read up about Cliff Young, the young shuffler.
What was the question?
He changed the way the ultra marathons were run, and he was like in his 60s. He won an ultra marathon as an old man.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's literally like it's prime for like one of those crazy like movies where you're like, this is the most unbelievable thing I've ever heard. But it is a legit story because I heard about this like 20 some years ago. It's like, but yeah, read Cliff Young, ultra marathon, craziest thing you ever read.
So next horse giveaway. What's my favorite movie? And I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You know, if you give it slow hits, it might work.
I brought the mango habanero. I brought it just so you didn't think I was full of shit. See, it exists.
Out in the wild.
There it is. Let's see. Oh, Elle Bailey got me. Debbie Does Dallas, straight out of the 70s.
Oh.
I mean, why did everybody go porn? Am I that fucking raunchy?
Let me get these. This is actually the first time I've ever given cards to somebody, so this is why it's going to take me a second.
No, you're good. So what I'll do then is I'll do the next giveaway, and this is going to be for. Sorry, that's not. Oh, I don't have the right thing up. Oh, there we go. We're going to do Noble Elitist, which was the Into Mischief, Curlin, and Tappet. All right, and what we are going to do is, trying to think of a good one. Was not prepared for this, so let me, I don't know. I don't know what to do for this. All right, I drank 3 different beers tonight. What was the first beer I drank?
There's no way. This is going to be the most random bullshit
Listen,
question.
if you want an Into Mischief, you got to work. Bat guano. Nope, not bat shit. Stone Cold. Nope. That was the second
we'll
one.
We'll give him like 3 minutes. We might have to change the question because this may go on all night.
Yep, this might go on until Mike can come up with a good question because I'm not good at this shit.
I gotta look at this. I gotta get this credit. I gotta get this sire or this breeding card done.
Some hazy. There you go, Super. There you go, Taffy. Let's see. Come on now, y'all. Listen.
And we'll make a deal. If I do change the question, if you can answer the original question before you can answer the second question, you still win.
Bloody American beers. That's true.
Bloody American. That's got to be an Aussie. That's that Bloody American beer. Actually, I've got a good friend from Wales, and he loves the word bloody. And he's got like the deepest Welsh voice ever. He's like, bloody hell, boys. I love Zach. He's one of my favorite people.
If y'all were paying attention, this shouldn't be a problem. I told you guys there was going to be a test. Or maybe I didn't tell you, but there's a test. Pop quiz.
Yeah, you're like the worst teacher I've ever had. Oh. I didn't tell you there was going to be a test, but there's a test.
There's a test. There's always a test. That's for my lack of preparation. All right.
I still can't find this fucking table. I know it's around here. Cards.
Didn't someone call it piss? Someone, nope, didn't drink the $10 beer, and no, nobody called this one piss. At least not that I'm aware of.
Cards have.
Jono, if you sound like Jono, Frank, you sound like my wife. If you were paying attention, well, listen. I guess we'll just say I'm the sim wife. I don't know how else to explain.
All right, there we go. So yeah,
Keystone. No Keystone.
All right, Croft Daddy, you got your 3B cards, so you're good to go.
All right, nobody's getting the answer right, so Mike, save me.
All right, somebody save Frank.
All right, we'll do a music trivia. It wasn't the Steve Austin beer. It was something before that. I'll flash it after we get the next question. Do some music trivia.
Music trivia?
Music trivia. Do that. You're good with the music.
Okay. This singer was originally pegged to be a singer in one of the most notable metal bands of all time. However, he ended up refusing, and he went on to sing for one of the probably top 5 metal bands of all time. I'm trying to come up with something that people are going to have a little trouble Googling. But when I'm talking, you look up the best metal bands of all time. You look up the 5 to 10 best metal bands of all time. He was originally pegged to be the number. He was originally pegged to be a singer in the first metal band of all time, probably one of the best metal band of all time. But then he ended up being a singer in one of the top 5 metal bands of all time. It's not Mustaine, but you're in the right ballpark, is what I'm saying. You're in the right ballpark. Mustaine, honestly, and I'm not shitting you, Megadeth is probably not what is considered the best metal band of all time. I would consider them the best metal band of all time. They have the best metal album of all time. Rust in Peace kicks ass.
Agreed.
My favorite metal album of all time. But this is a guy that has sang for, originally supposed to sing for one. No, it's not.
There
James,
it is. Oh, that wasn't it?
No, it's not Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, wow. Well, then I got it wrong.
No, Dio is of course, he sang for Ronnie James Dio, but John Bush, there it is. Super Taffy got it.
What was the question again?
John Bush was originally in a band called Armored Saint, and Metallica was going to have him be their singer, but he turned them down to stay with Armored Saint because he grew up with the guys from Armored Saint. So he turned Metallica down, but he eventually became the lead singer for Anthrax.
Ah, very good. Didn't know that.
So there we go.
All right.
But yeah, Dave Mustaine, terrible voice, but it's so perfect for Megadeth. I love Megadeth. Marty Friedman, Megadeth, Rust in Peace, best metal album of all time. Not even close.
His shitty voice just makes the instrumental look that much better.
Will kill brother, spilling blood across the land.
There you go.
Killing for religions, I don't understand. I could totally do. I used to actually sing Dawn Patrol and that, and I was fucking that. But yeah, there was a metal band that we used to play with when I was in a old rock band, and we would play with this metal band, and they'd let me sing either that. They'd let me sing Rust, Holy Wars, or what was the other one? Dawn Patrol. That's another song.
There you go.
Dawn Patrol's funny.
This is the perfect. The answer to this is going to be the perfect giveaway. So we have 2 more horses to give away. We have Twitch Prize and Never Refused. I'm going to go ahead and do Never Refused. But who won the 1993 Sprint Breeders' Cup Classic? Or not Classic, but 1993 Breeders' Cup Sprint. Answers. Shoot your answers in. Sam got it. Cardmania. He got it. Cardmania.
See, that should have been the answer for the one where we gave away the cards.
I know, right? So Sam is going to get the No Nay Never Shamardal Sadler's Wells. Let me mark that down. And
we gave that to Taffy a second ago, or was that a different
No, I gave her the Into Mischief one. Where is Sam?
Okay.
We got No Nay Never Horse. All right. I will give that guy away later. So that pretty much just leaves the Twitch prize, which is the...
we have a Twitch prize?
We do. The horse's name is Twitch Prize, and it's Frank Conversation, Be Like Mike, and Changes Take Time.
Man, this sounds like an awful horse, guys.
Don't all answer at once. Oh, God. Let's see. All right, we got to ask an Aussie question, even though we just gave them the shittiest gift ever.
You know what? You know what?
Here's what I'll do. I'll breed another horse for the Aussies. If you get this one right, I'll breed an Aussie-based horse with this one. A good Aussie-based horse, and you can have both Twitch prize and whatever I breed Aussie-wise.
And if you're not Aussie, you still win, more power to you.
Exactly. There's also that. Oh, listen. Aston is Aussie, and he got not this time. Listen, more power to you, man. If you can get the... somebody posted about a gelding. A really good... Oh, no, that was Aston, I think.
Yeah.
Let me not use that as the question. Man, we got to find a question. We definitely got to prepare better for these.
Let me think.
All right, this is a good one.
All right, I got one.
All right, I'll let you go.
Well, now, if it's an Aussie-based question, I'll let you do the Aussie-based question. Then I'm going to give away 3 B cards with another question.
No, I'm not ready because I don't even know what the hell I'm reading right now.
Okay, we'll let Frank do the Aussie-based question a second. I'm going to jump line, so I apologize, but he's going to get the Aussie-based question with that shit horse that he bred, as well as a good Aussie horse. But I'm going to go away with 3 B cards. Okay, 3 B cards. Simon and Schuster. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check this. I could be wrong. I want to make sure before I lie to you guys because this is coming from memory. No, it's not Simon and Schuster. I lied. Let me see. I was close. So Siegel and Schuster. There we go. Siegel and Schuster created Superman and were pretty much dicked on the royalties. So they tried to create another superhero several years later that only lasted 6 issues. What was his name?
John Stamos.
No.
I was close.
I think it was only 6 issues, but it was under 10 issues. Siegel and Schuster. Peter North, no.
All right,
Nerd. You know, I think Mega Nerd was in the book. Funny Man. There it is.
Peter North was a guess.
What? Yeah. It was actually Funny Man. Super Taffy got it right. You know what? Next bonus, I'm pretty sure I'm going to double check. I think Mega Nerd was in that. And if he was, I'll give you the bonus too. Okay. Yeah, you just broke Frank.
You did. You broke me bad, BK. Peter North, really? That was the guess. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. That was a good guess. It was completely wrong, but it was a great guess. Oh, I want to give him a gift horse just for the guess. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. God. Oh, God. Whew, he got me.
Racking it up tonight.
What, did she get it?
Yeah, she got it. I got to double check. I think that Mega Nerd may have been. I could be wrong. If Mega Nerd was in there, I know that there was like some secondary characters.
Was it
Mega Nerd?
3 Bs?
Yeah, 3 Bs. I gave Super Taffy got her 3 Bs, so I got that.
All right.
I'll double check. I don't know if Mega Nerd was like really a character in there, but I know there were some periphery characters. So if it was in there.
Okay.
If not, then
this is for the Aussie guys, and this is probably going to be an easy one for you guys. So this article is from 2019, so I apologize ahead of time, but this is the only horse to win the Melbourne Cup 3 times. And I will breed you a good Aussie horse, but you're also getting Twitch prize. Croft got it. Good job, Croft.
Damn, he's up on the Aussie trivia.
He's from there, so he knows what's up.
I know. That's
Good job, Croft. Good job, buddy. Let me mark that down. That I owe Croft an Aussie horse. And you know what, Croft? I'm gonna do you one. I'm gonna do you another solid. I'm gonna let you pick the sire, the DS, and the DDS.
Shit, man. The sire has to be an Aussie though.
Has to be an Aussie though. That's the caveat. It has to be an Aussie.
Damn sire, damn sire. You can do whatever you want. How's that? Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right. Aussie sire.
And Twitch prize. And you win yourself a nice claimer. Actually, don't know if it's a claimer. Just, talking shit at this point.
Yeah, percentage-wise, likely a claimer.
Well, way to give away the goods on, frank conversation and times changing or changing times.
So what else you guys got to
Later,
ask
Bailey.
us?
Later, Bailey. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yes, thank you, buddy.
Let's see. So, yep, Croft got it. Amir was a close second.
Amir. You know what? I feel like we ought to give Amir a question.
All right, this is just for Amir.
It's in his wheelhouse at least. I'm not exactly sure where Amir's located, but he's willing to get up at 4:00, so we got to at least give him a question in his wheelhouse.
This is specific to Amir, guys. So you can.
Anybody can answer if you can beat Amir to the question.
Oh well, I guess this is to everybody. So Amir.
Yeah, it's to everybody. But we need to find. Okay, damn. I don't even know where that is. I'm just like a simpleton.
I keep making the challenge more appealing. I don't know how I'm doing that.
Let's find something here that at least Amir has a chance to answer because he's working. East Africa, shit, that's awesome.
This is up to you, man. You're coming up with this one. Who is the Nirvana of East Africa?
What kind of question is that?
I don't know, but I figured he'd answer it right one way or the other. So
no,
I'm just kidding.
Let me see.
Just kidding.
All right, let's see. I'm just getting curious because we got to at least give him a chance.
Sam Nickelback.
No, Nickelback's not the right answer to any question.
So I saw them live once. They were with.
I hear they're actually a really good band.
They're not bad.
And I've actually heard the singer's actually kind of like.
Oh, he's
the
a
band's
douche.
actually kind of cool. No, I've actually heard they're actually kind of cool. I could be wrong.
Well,
I heard they're kind of cool.
So here's what I know about the lead singer dicked over Josie Scott of Saliva with the Spider-Man theme song. Basically, dicked him out of like $60,000 or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Then he's.
But Nickelback, their drummer, is one of the better drummers.
Oh, okay.
So
really, okay.
That's how I look at it.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I've got nothing on this.
That's it. Sam got the song "Hero."
All right. Let me see. Give me just one question, and let me look here. Okay. I'm just trying to get a good question here.
No, I got people sending me messages in Slack giving me questions, but I feel like they're setting me up for stupidity.
Oh, yeah, they're totally setting you up. The thing is, it's like, this is really cool. It's like, this guy lives on some tiny island, right out. I've never even heard of this place. This is cool as shit. Yeah, all right.
What are we giving away?
I don't know. I give away 3 B cards. It's easy.
All right, that sounds good. Enrique Iglesias, you win. All right, let's see what we can come up with. Did that horse really go undefeated? No way. I gotta check back with our Aussie friends on that. I won't give it away in case we want to use it as a question. Oh, excuse me. I heard it's a free month subscription to your OnlyFans, Frank. Listen, you want to come join the OnlyFans, you enter at your own risk.
Okay. Here we go.
Well, just 3 knew who I was talking about without actually giving it away.
Okay, Okay, here we go. If he's quick, he'll get this. I think I'm gonna pronounce this right. Martius, is that it?
Sounds right.
Okay. We're gonna give this a chance because this is gonna be quick. This is gonna be pretty easy to query. So yeah, this is definitely up Amir's alley. Guy got up at 4, so he deserves a little love here. If he knows this out to shoot. Mauritius. Okay. Best wishes, like is Franks and Canisius. Best wishes. All right.
Aloysius.
Mauritius. We'll go with that. All right. What is the anthem of Mauritius?
The anthem of Mauritius. Let's get it. Come on, guys. I know you know the answer. I hope you do, because I don't.
There you go. Sam got it.
Sam got it. Motherland. Okay. Well, Sam is getting 3 more B cards, right?
Yep. And I'll do it right now. SJ Miola.
And 3.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You can handle the B cards.
I'll do the B cards.
All right. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, ladies. CV says Barbie
what
girl.
What were you saying?
CV says Barbie girl.
Life in Plastic, it's fantastic. I'm going to say this.
It's a good song.
If anybody hasn't seen the Barbie movie, it's pretty good.
I haven't seen it.
It's pretty fun. I'm just going to say that. I got a daughter. I want my daughter and my wife. It's a good time.
I saw what it was the highest box office grossing movie this last week, right? It beat out Mission Impossible, and it beat out.
It's won like 3 weeks in a row or 4 weeks in a row. I mean, it's and I will say this is that I don't think they knew exactly what they had on their hands. I think they knew they had a hit, but I don't think they knew what they had on their hands because we got free tickets to see Oppenheimer. My wife.
That's what the other one was.
And when we went and like literally the entire the lobby was like small girls, young girls, older women, even dressed all in pink, having a fucking blast. I mean, I was like, yeah, I think this is like the new Star Wars for girls. I mean, like it was really cool. I mean, like you don't necessarily see a lot of movies targeted specifically towards females, and I thought that was really cool. It's like they were almost cosplaying Barbie, which was pretty dope. I thought it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. A much better movie than people give it shit. It's much better movie than you'd expect.
I barely leave the house these days. So, last movie I went and saw was John Wick, or the last John Wick, which was amazing for me, by the way. All right, man. So we got some gifts out there. We answered some questions. Yeah. How we feeling? Is everybody done? Does anybody have any more questions?
Yeah, we're here for you. I mean,
we're getting more and more inebriated as time goes on, but we're here.
Yeah. The longer you keep us hanging on, the more likely you're likely to get something stupid.
I'm this much away from a mango habanero beer, so.
Oh no. Don't do it.
Oh,
tea time. I enjoyed it for the next one. Cross Daddy,
man.
We appreciate you too, man. It's I mean, this is I really do, and like I said,
I want to give one shout out before we
what's
do
that?
this. I said I want to give one shout out before this.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Got to give a shout out to Spin for all the Sire postings and things she's been doing on the B2B of late. Spin is the best B2B reporter. She does amazing things. Make sure you read her stories. She puts in a lot of time and effort. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, read all the B2B'er stories, but it really is like the B2B, the reason it exists is Spin puts a lot of time and effort into that outside of just her stories. She puts a lot of time and effort into like keeping that thing together. So yeah, just know she's she's dope as shit. But everything else is. I know anybody who's been to a few of these chats knows is that I totally appreciate what Frank's doing.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, to be honest.
This is not my wheelhouse. I mean, I'm not. You can tell that I got a face made for radio. But I do appreciate that Frank's willing to bring me on and like talk about this stuff, and you guys are willing to bring things towards me and to me, and he's willing to filter where necessary. The coding, I love. I'm just a nerd. I love to code. I'm not necessarily the best people person. I try, but yeah, Frank brings me to the masses, and he's also an awesome coder, and he's getting more and more involved in that every day. So it's
I know Word. That's all I know.
But no, it's totally appreciated. Thank you, Frank. Don't sell yourself short, buddy. I mean, this is
no, as long as everybody's having fun, that's all I look. That's all I'm shooting for, man. We have fun, get the community involved. Hopefully we can get some of y'all in on these Zoom chats with us. The only prerequisite, that was a tough word to say after as many beers as I've had. That's the only prerequisite is you have a camera so you can join in with us. So anybody who's interested in doing something like that, shoot me a message on Slack, shoot me a PM, and wherever you're from, if you're in Australia, if you're in England, if you're South Africa, wherever the hell you are, we'll make it work.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the one thing that we need to do a better job of, and this is a me problem, is I would love to do some, where the Aussies can join in more regularly, especially because we have a big Aussie contingent that we don't. The timing on this is bad for those guys. So yeah, maybe even on the weekends when we can get a little earlier, like 2:00. And give those guys an opportunity to come in and join us, because I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we get the 20-some people going now, but if we get some Aussies in here, I could see this clicking in the low 30s, high 30s, and even other. Yeah, the United States is we're pretty late, man. We're we're the paste eaters of society here, so we got
Listen, we wake up at 11 and we just roll out of bed and start coding. That's the way it works for us. So
yeah, we're nerdy as fuck, so that's just the way it works.
That's right.
But no, seriously, thank you guys, everybody that's here. I mean, it's this is, and I know I sound like a big old fat nerd, and I'm fine with that. It means a lot to me. This means a lot to me. It means a lot to Frank. This shit is, I love the fact that we can offer something that people love, at least like enough to show up in chat rooms and give us feedback and, play regularly and support. It really is. It's humbling, and I just want to say thank you guys.
Absolutely,
it's amazing.
It's
amazing.
Mike put together a great game, and the community comes through time and time again. And like you said, we're here to try to make things much more enjoyable for you guys. So keep the suggestions coming, keep the interaction going. Again, we're available on Slack, we're available via email, and through the forum. I read everything on the forum. I might not comment on everything, but I do read everything. So again, if you guys have something, or you don't want to be put on blast inside of the Twitch chat here or what have you, feel free to PM me privately. I'm more than happy to keep it discreet. So, but seriously, we do appreciate everybody, and yeah, man, look forward to the next one.
Yes, much so.
We'll catch you all on the next one. You guys have a good night.